Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the MARC Medley Show. And this is your host, MARC Medley. As always, it is a pleasure to share with you, to be with you once again. As the kids can say, to drop knowledge or to share with you. And I'm going to say right up front, this particular episode could be inflammatory. It could be controversial. It could be sensitive. And I'm going to say this up front. I have nothing against the lottery system or those of you who play the lottery. The only reason I'm taking the time to share in this episode is something that I've observed over the years. And I have a question based on it, and that is, what if we use the same discipline and the same habits that we use to go to the bodega or the local corner store to play lottery? What if we use those same habits and that same money if we were to invest it or go to the bank? And let me make my case here. I've literally seen folks play $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100 per day on the lottery. And I have nothing against the lottery. As I've said, I have absolutely nothing against the lottery nor those who play it. I'm not judging. Every now and again, whenever the lottery gets really large, I'll put $2 on it myself. And my thinking behind it is, if that one ticket hits, great. If it doesn't hit, I haven't lost anything but $2. And that's kind of like my outlook with the lottery. So my thinking in terms of this episode is, let's say, for example, those who play the $30, $40, $50 per day. If they were to take that same $30, $40, $50 and now place it into an investment, or if they were to place it into an interest-bearing account or into a mutual fund or into stocks, the same money. The only difference is, instead of going to the store, instead of handing the money over to the person behind the lottery machine, you would be handing your money to the teller or the ATM or the financial planner or what have you. Same discipline, same habit. Think in terms of how much now you would be able to save. For me, years ago, I worked for a large corporation. And at that time, they had what they called a team award. And that, for the most part, was a bonus. At the end of the year, if everything went well, profits for the company went well, everybody on the team, per se, quote unquote, would now receive a bonus. And depending on what level you were, would determine the amount of your bonus. The higher the level, the higher the bonus. I was like a first level, so my bonus was about $5,000. And where I'm going with this is, think in terms of, had I taken that $5,000 and invested it. Because that was $5,000 extra dollars beyond my salary. That was beyond what I would normally get. It was a one-time hit per year, $5,000. And as I look back retroactively, it's kind of like, boy, if I had taken that $5,000 and it was over like each year, it was about that same amount. So let's say, for example, for 4 years, had taken that $5,000 and each year just took that extra money, put it into an interest-bearing account or an investment account and just let it ride. By now, I would have been able to retire. I would have easily been able to pay off my children's college loans, or just paid college out in cash, just from the money on the interest that was earned from that particular investment 30 years ago, 35 years ago, or whatever, of $5,000 each year for those couple of years. Now let's go back to the lottery example, wherein, let's say you play 50. We're going to use $50 as a round number. Let's say, for example, you play 50, and there are folks who do it, $50 per day, 7 days a week. 7 times 5 is 35. Therefore, that's $350 a week. So in a 2-week period of time, you're talking $700. In a 4-week period of time, you're talking $1,400. So that's $1,400 a month that could be spent on the lottery that you could be now putting into the bank as an investment. And then you put it in and you leave it in there over time. Because I get it, why the lottery is appealing is because it is a quick hit. You know, the hopes is that you will become a millionaire on the day that the lottery is played. You hit the lottery and you become this instant millionaire. That's the hope. I get it. We are a microwave society and we want it now. What I'm suggesting is you won't get it now, but you will get it later down the road. Over a 30-year period of time. Remember what I said. If I had done that, and that's maybe the reason I'm doing this episode now, is maybe I'll catch somebody young enough that says, you know what, he has a point there. Maybe I will start investing and saving at a very young age. I have daughters. I have a 32-year-old daughter and I have a 27-year-old daughter. One is more of the saver. The other one is more of the, I want to see it, I buy it. I see it, I buy it now. I'm constantly encouraging them, if possible, don't do what your dad did. Just kind of spent money as he went along. Now, don't get me wrong. Whenever those bonuses came out, that $5,000, it wasn't spent frivolously. It wasn't spent just, on foolishness. Usually it went into, home repairs or either something going on with a car or something that was needed. However, if we could have just taken the extra money, because that's money that had they not given it, I couldn't have missed it, because they never gave it to begin with, and it was on top of the regular salary. So now going back to my example with the lottery, let's now say you take that same money, you take that same walk. However, instead of going to the store, you go to the bank or to the financial planner. Do the same thing, exact same thing. The only difference is who you're handing the money to and what the money's going to do. Think in terms of, the outcome. Because for me, literally, I have been down to the Bahamas in Paradise Island years ago, walked through the casino, put in a quarter in the machine. It did not hit. I kept walking. I've been in Atlantic City and have done the same thing. Put a quarter in the machine. It did not hit and kept walking. Because for me, that whole notion of constantly losing money like that is just never been appealing to me and attractive for me. And I get it. You all hit. And to be honest with you, whenever you do hit after you've put so much in, it really comes out to a net. You're getting back about the equivalent of what you've put in. So you're kind of netting out the same thing. If you've put in $40,000 and you get a big hit for $40,000 or $50,000, maybe you get a little bit of profit. But for the most part, you're netting, unless you're hitting, of course, the big one. But again, going back to what I was saying, if you were to put it in an investment and let it ride over time, you would get it. You got the dollar cost averaging. You got the whole notion of compound interest. You got that going on. You have a lot of things going in your favor, unless, of course, it's something really crazy. I mean, the banks are guaranteed your money, but if you put it in the stock market and the market crashes, that's a little bit different. But I mean, if you were to go to a financial planner, they could tell you can invest high risk, mid risk, low risk, no risk, high yield, low yield. I mean, they give you options in terms of, kind of like your risk factor of how much you would want to invest or how much you would want to put in, and how much you're willing to lose. But to me, the lottery is almost like the chances are so slim of hitting it. That's the issue. I mean, and maybe it's that thrill. That's why folks are so attracted to the lottery. I don't know. But I'm just trying to give you something to think about as an alternative, because the way I look at it, it's the same discipline. It's the same habits. The only difference is where you're placing it. So my question for this episode is, I wonder what would happen if we were to place the same money into an investment that we put into the lottery. I mean, I've known folks, I've seen folks stand there at the lottery machine and reel off $100 or more worth of numbers. I've seen folks go daily to the lottery machine and spend 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And what always goes to my mind is, wow, if I had that kind of money to do that, I would put it in the bank. And that way, let your money make money instead of, giving it to the state, to the lottery. I mean, and again, the lottery has its place. I'm not bashing the lottery. I'm not bashing those who play the lottery. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just giving another perspective in terms of how wealth could be built as an alternative trying to get built, get rich quick. Because for the most part, that's what the lottery is the hopes is I'm going to match those numbers and I'm going to be a millionaire. That's the hope. I know, because again, when the Mega Million and the Powerball and all that get a certain amount so high that I can't pass it up, or either if we're doing like a group type where everybody chips in a couple dollars and we get a whole bunch of tickets, something, because I would not be the one wanting to be left out when the whole group hit and I had the opportunity. So I wouldn't want that. But just what I'm talking about is the daily trip to the lottery machine, and you're dropping $40, $50, $100 per day in the hopes of getting rich or, becoming that millionaire. That's what I'm talking about. Because if you can drop that kind of money, $40, $50, $60, $100 a day on the lottery, you can do the same thing. Instead of going to the lottery, going to the bank. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, that's kind of like my little message here for this episode of the Mark Medley Show. I tell you what, it's been a banner weekend. I had the opportunity, as always, on Saturday mornings to record my radio show, The Reading Circle with Mark Medley. Had a blast with my guest this weekend. Some really powerful words and discussion there we had. And then on this Thursday night, October the 14th, I'm actually going to be the guest on a show. I am accustomed to being the host, but on Thursday night, October the 14th, I'm actually going to be the guest. And the show is entitled The Psychic and the Doc. It's Mark Anthony and Dr. Pat Basili. They host that show, and they're going to be interviewing me. And my topic is If I Can Help Somebody. And it comes from that song, If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living will not be in vain. And I already know, some of the questions they're going to throw at me is in terms of mistakes that I've made. Also, who would be on my mastermind table if I could, whether they're living or if they're dead. Folks I would have around that mastermind table to, inspire and guide me. And also, what type of legacy would I like to leave? Those are the type of things we're going to be talking about in that particular interview. So that is going to be Thursday night. It's on the Transformation Transformation Talk Radio Network. I know it's going to be broadcast on Facebook. I have it on my Facebook page. I've been promoting it like crazy. But if you go to my website, marcamedley.com, marcamedley.com, that is the portal to all of my social media sites, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Tumblr, you name it. You can get to all of them, and you can follow me by going to the website, YouTube, because I archive all the shows on YouTube, whether it's this one here or the radio show. They're archived on YouTube. So again, go to my website, marcamedley.com. That is the portal. Give some thought to what I said in terms of, making that trip to the lottery store, to the bodega, to the corner store, wherever it is the lottery machine is, and kind of see if you can bypass that and go to your bank or to your financial planner. That's pretty much it for now. Do visit marcamedley.com, and we will be together again on the next episode.